Today has been one of those days where I've procrastinated all day. I procrastinated all day. I got up, I meditated, I journaled. I knew exactly what I needed to do after my meditation and after my journaling, and I didn't take action. And I feel like the reason I didn't take action was because I had so many limiting beliefs and fears that came up that literally stopped me. Thing after thing, like, oh, I'm tired. I can do this later. Oh, well, I really need to do this. Oh, well, really, I need to do this. And it was just so many different excuses that kept coming up to the point where I was like, why am I not taking action after I just got the directions on what it is that I need to do? After I just got the clarity of what I need to create. I started this planner, which I'm redoing everything in it, because that was the direction that I got from my meditation. But I'm redoing this calendar, and I'm making it into a planner, and it's called the Magic Roadmap. And it's so funny because I created this planner last year in November. And for some reason, I just felt like it wasn't the time to actually put it out. I didn't trust myself enough then. And this whole year literally gave me the blueprint of what I needed to do for this planner, of what I needed to put inside this planner for you guys. And I didn't know, like before, it was just like, oh yeah, it's the Magic Roadmap. You just plan out your year, whatever. But this year, I went through so many different things to the point where I had to literally understand and decipher and just keep my faith and knowing that everything that I was being divinely guided in everything that I was doing. Because I had so many different ups and downs and blows to my ego and blows to my self-esteem and just being knocked down to the point where I felt like I was not going to be able to get up. Like I wasn't going to be able to overcome what I was going through at one point in my journey. And to look at it hindsight, so that it was all part of a plan. It was all divinely put together. To know that is breathtaking, because every 3 months I went through a transition. And at the beginning of the year, I feel like that was the building trust for me. That was the trust yourself portion of the journey that I was on. That was the literal, are you going to trust outside of yourself, or are you going to put your trust in me, as in myself, but also God, and knowing that you're going to be taken care of? And at this time, I was staying in Airbnbs. I was basically practically homeless. I still had my son. And for me, that was the hardest time. That was the hardest time for me at that point, because I felt sick and I was doing really well, and I built that trust up, and I understood, like, okay, I can do this, I can create, and this is how I even created this at this time, because I built the trust up so much that I started to just take action on everything that came up, everything that the ideas that I had. I just took action immediately. And then out of nowhere, I fell sick. And I had my son, and I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die, and that was the end of, that was like in February. And the doctors couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. It was just so many different things that I was going through, to the point where I was like, what is going on with me? And I felt the hardest because at that point I felt like I was in my sovereignty, but I wasn't. And I wasn't as secure as I am today. And I literally had, when I fell sick, and this is how good God is, because before I even fell sick, I knew that there was something in my body. And before I even fell sick, I kept on getting these little hints, like stop eating meat, stop eating processed food, go vegan. Like, I already was having these thoughts, and I feel like I had stopped eating a certain way. But then right before I got sick, I had ate some chicken, and I ate a couple different things, and then I had fell sick. And so after that, when I had fell sick, I was doing yoga in the park, and I was doing my daily gratitude walk that I usually do before I go and pick up my son from school. At this time, we were living in Houston, so there was nobody else out there. There was no family. There was nobody. It was just me and my son. I'm walking, I'm doing my gratitude walks. I'm having a beautiful day, and all of a sudden I do yoga, and when I get done doing the yoga, I feel something in my body. It was like something in my neck. And that was the last thing that I wrote down. There's something in my body. And I can show you guys, like, so crazy how it started to work. But it's funny because before I even started to do yoga, I was listening to music when I was doing my walk, and it was a song that came on that said "Footsteps in the Sand," and I was like, because I never heard the song before. And sometimes I get downloads from music where I get messages of what to look out for, and basically it was like a message. And then when I looked down at it, the cover said "Spirit" on there, and I was like, what is this all about, right? Because the song was basically saying, even when you feel like I'm not there, I'm always there with you, holding your hand or carrying you. Really, 10 minutes after that, when I was in my yoga session, and I was like, there's something in my body, and I was like, okay, I gotta go and get my son. I had started to walk, and then, like, sometimes you can get like dizzy, but you don't pass out. I got dizzy, and I didn't, like, something didn't click, to the point where I was like, I knew I was gonna pass out. And I asked this woman, she was walking past me, and this is a big park in Houston. If you are in Houston and you know where Herman Park is, that is my park that I always used to go to. And I was walking, and I asked the lady, I said, can you please help me? She said no, and kept walking. And right after that, I fell, and I passed out, and I was unconscious. And that day, I thought I was gonna die. And all I kept thinking about was my son. Who's gonna get my son? Because when I came back, I feel like it was like a minute or two while I was on the ground. Like, I was down there with the ducks, okay? I opened my eyes and I'm on the ground, and I try to pick myself back up, and I stumble a bit because I can't fully walk. And I was just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, so I called the police, and I'm like, can you please send the ambulance? I feel like I'm dying. After I fell sick, this is where I felt like I lost a lot of my power and my ability to really believe in myself and have the trust in myself, because I had finally got my son back after being unstable for such a long time. And I had finally got my son back in December, and then it was February at this time, and I fell sick, and I had to give him back to his dad, because I couldn't take care of him. And that hurt me to my core, to the point where it did something into my spirit, to where I felt like, I don't know, it felt like I lost my fire. and it felt like I couldn't provide for myself, and I felt like I couldn't trust that I was going to be taken care of. And so after that, I had to give up everything that I worked hard for in that moment. All of those fears came back. Like, I can't do this. I can't be this. It was approaching March where God told me to go to Miami. God gave me the steps to take. I was shifting and I was changing. But the thing is, I was still holding on to a past version of myself. All of those things amplified, where it made my journey so much more, it made it a lot longer because I was still holding on to the fact that I fell. And with me falling, that created something in me where I felt like I couldn't take care of myself. And I couldn't trust myself. And so that's why the first 3 months of this planner is about building trust and understanding that this time is very important. You got to build that trust with yourself. You have to understand, like, this is who I am. This is what I am creating. Because the more that I create, the more that I make. Because I am my own currency. Because I have everything that I need inside. And so I'm so grateful that I went to Miami, because I had got on that plane from Houston with $300, and I felt like I met my soul family there. And I owe it to her. Her name is Sunny. She literally came into my life and was like, I'm here. I know who I am. I know who I am to you and why you're in my life and why I'm supporting you, because I see you. She saw so much in me. And mind you, I had literally fell. So I wasn't in the mindset of being able to take care of myself. I was in lack. I don't have this. I don't have this. I don't know what to do. I was confused, right? And she was just like, no, you're on a journey. What are you going to do? Like, there is no room for you to sit here and, baby yourself. You got to get back up. Transformed into a totally different person because I didn't go the route that most people go. I learned so much about myself. I allowed myself to see where my flaws are, to see where my limiting beliefs were, to see how I could position myself to become this new version of myself. Yeah, like, if you have that project that you just feel like you can't get started on because of whatever reason, because you can't do this, or you feel like you have this to do or that, like, those are just fears. Those are things that's telling you you can't do it, or that you don't have the time because you're afraid of your own potential. You're afraid of your own success. And you're thinking, what if it does not work? But what if it do? What if it turns out to be the best thing that you ever done for yourself? Believe so much in yourself that fear cannot stop you. You get the confirmation of what it is that you're supposed to take action on. Take action on it immediately. Because when you do that, you build trust with yourself. Have you ever went through a season where you felt like you couldn't trust a man, or you couldn't trust the people around you? And that's really because they've let you down so much. But let's just look at that for a moment. You don't trust other people. That just means that you don't really trust yourself. Because if you were to look at the other people in your life, you will understand that you chose those people to be in your life. And if you were trustworthy within yourself, then you would say, I trust myself enough to have people in my life that are really going to be there to support me. And so you building that trust with yourself is also building a fortitude of just energy that is authentic, I should say, because you know yourself and you know what it is that you can create, right? And what it is that you will create, because you know that you're going to take action as soon as you get the inkling to. And so I hope this helped you guys. My name is Francesca Bell if you're new here. And like I said, this planner will be available on Black Friday. The Magic Roadmap, it is a manifestation planner, and it is here to help you in the next year on your journey to being free, on your journey to manifesting the life that you want. It kind of has the theme of a fairy godmother, because I always have had this world that I've created, that I have a fairy godmother and she always provides everything that I need. And so I wanted to create that in an actual form. And so I created a planner for you guys. And hopefully it allows you to tap into your inner child and awaken that little girl in you and be more creative and spark that in you. So I wish you guys the best. I love you. I hope that this helped you on your journey, and know that you are worth it. Know that you are worthy and you are your own currency. So whatever that is for you. If you're a millionaire, you're a billionaire, know it, believe it, receive it, create it. I love you. See you later.